Coming up tonight on YCN News, Republican Joe Kenney wins the District 1 Executive Council seat. New Hampshire towns release yesterday's election results, including one school board race in Claremont. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Wednesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Early today, by 1,200 votes, Republican Joe Kenney of Wakefield officially won the District 1 Executive Council seat. Tuesday night at 11 p.m., the race for the seat held formerly by the late Ray Burton of Bath was declared too close to call. Kenney and Democrat Mike Cryans of Hanover have been on the campaign trail since late December. It's been almost 40 years since the District 1 seat had a vacancy. Of the Executive Council's 5 districts, the District 1 covers the largest geographic area, roughly 2/3 of New Hampshire. Statewide, 21,351 voters cast ballots for Kenney, compared to 20,084 people who selected Cryans on the ballot. Cryans prevailed in the Upper Valley and in Bath, New Hampshire, Ray Burton's hometown. Bath voters favored Cryans 102 to Kenney 81. Voters trounced Kenney in Cryans' hometown of Hanover. 897 residents cast ballots for Cryans, while 90 of their fellow citizens marked ballots for Kenney. In Wakefield, where Kenney lives, voters supported Kenney by a 2-to-1 margin. Kenney received 414 votes to Cryans' 201. Voting in some towns shows how closely the races between the two men were. In Canaan, 638 people voted for Cryans, compared to 535 residents who marked Kenney's name on the ballot. Claremont voters with the city's 3 wards results chose Kenney over Cryans by 20 votes. Kenney garnered 516 votes over Cryans' 496. In Cornish, the next town from Claremont, more residents supported Cryans than Kenney, 255 to 185. Croydon voters chose Kenney over Cryans, nearly 2-to-1. In all, 73 residents opted for Kenney, while 35 citizens preferred Cryans. Enfield residents widely supported Cryans with 830 votes compared to Kenney's 505 votes. In Grantham, Cryans prevailed with 274 ballots over Kenney's 108. Voters from Lebanon's 3 wards widely supported Cryans than did Kenney. In Lebanon, 977 residents voted for Cryans, while 395 selected Kenney for the District 1 Executive Council seat. New London voters also favored Cryans over Kenney. 375 people marked Cryans' name on the ballot compared to 211 voters favoring Kenney. In Newport, Kenney received a strong showing, 436 votes to 301 for Cryans. In Plainfield, a town located between Cornish and Lebanon, 220 citizens voted for Cryans. 116 residents chose Kenney. Springfield residents chose Kenney over Cryans by 27 votes. In all, 148 people selected Kenney compared to 121 citizens who colored in the oval next to Cryans' name. Sunapee voters showed strong support for Kenney. 373 ballots were cast for Kenney over 244 for Cryans. State Elections Assistant Paula Penny said Cryans can choose to ask for a recount. He would have until 5 p.m. Thursday to do so. A recount would happen only if the losing candidate requests one, Penny said in a phone interview today. Penny also said voter turnout for the special election District 1 race may have been better on Tuesday because many towns held annual elections for municipal and school positions. Town meeting day may have spurred some registered voters to go to the polls than if only the special election had been held, said Penny. Kenney could not be reached for comment today. Yesterday's New Hampshire town elections bring us leaders to help with a variety of town functions. Some were close competitors in the race, but the results are out and the leaders chosen. In Wilmot, Mary Kay Huntoon received the position for the selectman, having 129 votes. Russell Jewell Jr. with 112 and Michael Pelletier with 53 votes were the runner-ups. For the library trustee, Jacqueline Thompson won with 192 votes over Jean Henskins' 66. 1,358 people call Wilmot home, according to the 2010 census. The town comprises 29.8 square miles and is nestled between Springfield, Andover, New London, and Danbury. When YCN News returns, we'll continue with more news.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
For fun, food, fashion, and après entertainment, the new experience at Stratton Village is part of a $7 million investment. Outfit your adventure with the latest from Burton, The North Face, Dashing Bear, or First Run. Fuel your days and nights with great food and drink from Fire Tower Restaurant and Tavern, Stratton Mountain Market and Deli, Mulligan's, or the Sushi Bar. Make any occasion special with a visit to Von Bargain's Fine Jewelry, pampering at the Stratton Day Spa. Make our home yours and see yourself slopeside. Welcome to Stratton Village.
Hi, this is Anita from Brattleboro Mobile at Exit 3. The store now offers more products you can pick up when you're on the go. Green Mountain Coffee, drinks and snacks, beer and wine, and hopefully your next winning lottery ticket. Also, Brattleboro Mobile has added diesel fuel to go along with the 3 different grades of superior mobile gasoline. And remember, we have a courteous staff, a brand new look, and a convenient location, all at Brattleboro Mobile. See you soon.
Brattleboro Mobile on the roundabout at Exit 3.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. In other town meeting day news, Bradford's John Feifel takes the spot on the select board with 213 votes over runner-up Marlene Frailer, who received 160. The zoning board welcomed 2 members, Mark Fournier with 205 votes and Stephen C. Pierce with 165, leaving the runner-up with 155 votes, Eric A. Caron. In Springfield, Donald Hill took the selectman position with an overwhelming 174 votes, leaving no close competitors. In Sutton, Walter Baker Jr. was elected to selectman with 232 votes. Richard Deschennes followed with 132, and Daniel Baker received 48 votes. Linda Ford was elected town clerk with 261 votes. Jen Call was runner-up, receiving 165 votes as a write-in for town clerk. But Call was elected tax collector with 244 votes over Linda Ford's close following of 204 votes. The town of Warner elected Alan N. Brown for selectman with a great majority of 441 votes. Kimberly Edelman followed with 85, and Deborah Shario received 27 votes. On a related note, New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan, a Democrat, congratulated Kinney today. In a statement, Hassan recognized Kinney as the District 1 race winner. She commended Mike Cryans for his efforts and for participating in the state's robust democratic process. Hassan said she looks forward to working with Kinney to achieve bipartisan results on behalf of all New Hampshire residents, especially in northern New Hampshire, which District 1 largely represents in Concord. Other key races and results from Town Meeting 2014 include a school board race in Claremont, the selectmen's race in Cornish, and the Kearsarge School District election, which we will follow up with tomorrow. Claremont's Heather Irish, the vice chair of the city's school board, was defeated by Richard Madigan. For the one-year term on the seat, Irish received 331 votes to Madigan's 528 votes. Irish has served on the school board and city council. 4-term select board member Marilyn Bourne of Cornish was defeated for another term by Dale Lawrence. Bourne received 195 votes compared to Lawrence's 237. In Claremont, voters supported the $34 million school budget by a 2-to-1 margin. Voters from all 3 wards said yes, 631 ballots, then said no, 331 ballots. An article seeking $203,990 for technology upgrades in the district failed. However, the vote was 464 yes to 507 no. Turnout in Claremont was 22.8% on Tuesday. YCN News will bring you more coverage from New Hampshire Town Meeting Day this week. Please stay tuned. And on a technically historical note, today is the 25th anniversary of the World Wide Web.
The YCN News continues in a moment. You're watching YCN, your local view, on WNMN DT40, serving Saranac Lake, New York and the Adirondack region. WYCX CD2, serving Manchester, Vermont in the Green Mountain State. WYCU LD26, serving Charlestown, New Hampshire in the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region of the Granite State. And on demand at YCNnow.com. YCN is your local view, owned and operated by Cross Hill Communications, LLC.
You know how special the Kearsarge Lake Sunapee area is, but do you know how to experience it? Kearsarge Magazine does, and it's your guide to this hidden gem. Whether it's an annual event, a new locally owned business, or a scenic hike, Kearsarge Magazine offers award-winning local coverage of central New Hampshire, available in retail stores or by subscription. Find out more at KearsargeMagazine.com and rediscover your hometown with our family of publications.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tomorrow we're expecting more snow, so make sure to drive carefully. Highs will be in the teens with a low of -3 degrees, so dress warm. Friday will have a high of 34 degrees with lows in the 20s. Saturday we're expecting rain with temperatures rising to the mid-40s and lows in the 20s. Sunday will have highs in the 30s with a low of 3 degrees. Monday temperatures will drop to highs in the 20s and lows in the single digits, so wear a warm coat that day. And now let's look at the northeastern and national radar maps. Now let's look at our community calendar. Tomorrow night, Canaan, New Hampshire is having its planning board meeting at 7 p.m. In Brattleboro, Vermont, the Marina Restaurant is holding open mic night at 7 p.m. Friday, the Kearsarge Chamber of Commerce Business Showcase is taking place in Warner, New Hampshire at the College of St. Mary Magdalene starting at 5:30 p.m. Sunapee will hold its coffee house at the Sunapee Methodist Church featuring Ian Fitzgerald Friday night at 7. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. Now let's look at last night's 2 competitive girls hockey games that took place in Concord, New Hampshire. In the first game, Lebanon High School faced off against Berlin-Gorham at the Everett Arena. Unfortunately, Berlin-Gorham outsmarted Lebanon and won the game 2-1. This was Berlin's first time being involved in a championship game. Berlin's number 10 Jenna Argan scored in the first period. Then Lebanon number 20 Michaela Schoen scored in the third period to tie the game. Then Berlin's Shaylee Valerie scores the game winner to finish off the game. The next game that took place was Hanover versus Bishop Gurdon. This time our local Hanover High School won the game, surpassing their opponent 5-0. Hanover's number 7 Maddie Hartman scored 3 of the 5 goals in the game. Hanover and Berlin will meet in the championship at the Verizon Wireless Arena in Manchester on Saturday, March 15th. Now let's look ahead to Thursday's upcoming tournament game. The game will be part of the Boys Basketball Division II tournament. Number 3 Lebanon will be pitted against number 2 seed Portsmouth. The game will be held at the University of New Hampshire in Durham, New Hampshire at 6 p.m. This will be a game you don't want to miss.